Good morning. I am packing up my stuff, going down to meet Gene, and then we're heading on to MAHTS. That trade show is back for the first time in I think 5 years, and it's a pretty cool story because the very first trade show I ever went to when I was 16 years old with Steve from Tussey Landscaping was at MAHTS in 2007. So this will be kind of cool. Morning, Tut Tut. Yummy. That's good, isn't it? You gonna be good? Okay. Love you. See ya. All right. Let's rock and roll. All right, I'm almost down to where I'm gonna meet Jean. We'll hook up, get her stuff together, and consolidate into one vehicle. Head on down to Atlantic City. All right, I was a little skeptical, but we got everything into this Honda Pilot. I'll give it to you. Yeah, we're getting it. This is a glorified man right here. All right, got my coffee and go park this thing. Okay, we have made it to Atlantic City, and we've got a bunch of stuff to get in there. Awful thing. Awful. What if we each grab a side of it? Look at that. We are such a team, Gene.
I tell you what.
We are such a team, Gene. I like how that runs. Okay, made it in. After we narrowly avoided getting our vehicle towed. All this stuff is in here. Drug it in like a half a mile. And Gene, he's over there rocking a call with somebody that's checking out SynkedUP. I'm gonna start setting things up here. Okie dokie, folks. We are finally done. 1 hour and 10 minutes later, we've got the thing up. We're gonna go get a couple more things from the vehicle and come back in and cross all the T's and dot all the I's and finish her up. We got the tablecloth on there. What do you think? I kind of like that tall TV stand. It helps kind of get some height there and get people to see it. Okay, good morning. Coming to you bright and early from the trade show floor in Atlantic City. We just got everything up and running on the booth, waiting for the first attendees to start rolling in here. My talk starts in 2 hours. Going to get as many demos on the books as we can until then, and then Gene's gonna rock the show while I'm gone. He's already over there making sure good things are happening. But yeah, I'm looking forward to having a good day. There is the rock star himself.
Look at that right there.
Where?
Beautiful.
Ooh, snazzy. What is this? Tell me more.
It's the best software out there. Know your numbers.
All right, here we got the schedule and all the way down here. Ooh, looky there. Know your numbers. Learn what you need to charge.
My name's Greg Scheller. I'm the owner of Scheller House. I live in Kansas City, Missouri.
All right, so I forgot my GoPro, so this is all phone stuff. But we're just hanging out here, chilling at the booth, talking to some guys. Those are two guys from my home area. They work at Tussey Mountain Mulch, the landscape supply center where we bought all our stuff from at Tussey Landscaping when I worked there, and they still do. But good friends from home. Got to meet these two guys, which I kind of knew who they were from Instagram, and they were just signing up, become part of the SynkedUP crew. So good times. Got one done. Good morning. I am coming at you from the MAHTS trade show here in Atlantic City. 80% perfect but done is better than 100% perfect but not done. So I'm just going to shoot this video right where I'm at. I have Matt's observing presence there behind me and the SynkedUP booth. But anyway, my article that I wrote this week was on getting info out of an owner's head and getting it into systems and processes so that you're no longer the bottleneck in your company. There's a couple different ways that this can play out and a couple different reasons why you'd want to make sure it plays out, but I just want to talk about kind of two different ways that I see from talking to hundreds of contractors across North America. So your life as an owner-operator of a business can be really hectic, and as you grow, that craziness just continues to increase, and one of two things end up happening, and that is, one, you hit your ceiling, you can't fight another fire, and your growth stops. You're the bottleneck. You can't get more quotes out the door. You can't deal with more callbacks, etc. Or two, you figure out how to systemize your business and your systems and processes, and you delegate it. The keys to getting out of that firefighter's prison in point one is in the second point, which is getting the information out of your head and into a system and process that can scale, where you're not the only one that can take care of issue A, B, C, D, E, F, G, you know? The whole thing with hitting your ceiling, I think all of us bump into this at one point or another in our business journey. And I see people bumping into that at different places. It just depends on you and your team and all of that. It usually happens somewhere in the 500K to 2 million range, where you as the owner, you grow the business to the 500K to 2 million range, somewhere in there, and you're just tapped out. You just can't fight another fire, deal with another issue. You're busy all day long, and you literally have not enough hours in the day. At that point, you have a choice. Some people, especially in this challenging labor market, choose to just stay right there. Like, I don't want to grow bigger than what I am right now. I just want to figure out how to be super profitable and efficient and effective where I'm at. And instead of taking your reputation and demand as it grows and doing more work and becoming a $5 and $8 and $10 million business, you just stay at the same size you are, and you get more and more and more choosy about the work that you do, which is an awesome place to be in, frankly, because you get to do more of what you love and less of what you hate. You also have less challenges with finding employees because you're cranking up your production by being more efficient and not by getting more crews. And so there's a lot of advantages. You get to say no to the opportunities of jobs that you don't like, and you just kind of, instead of adding more crews and doing more work, you just focus on knowing your numbers, becoming more profitable, and doing more work without adding more crews or production. And you're always looking for ways to streamline. Like, I see a lot of people like getting, hey, I'm not going to hire more people. I'm just going to get better equipment and just know my numbers and be profitable in everything I do and build a quality of life type business, as opposed to building a business that can run without you, which is the second point, which is systemizing, delegating, and scaling, without you needing to be the bottleneck. There's pros and cons, though, because if you choose the model where you stay kind of like at your ideal range with your ideal 3 to 5 guys, whatever it is, if you break a leg, the business stops. If you go on vacation, the business stops. So that's the con to having this kind of model. You just got to decide what you want, and it can be okay. And a contingency plan for that problem can be that you do work to get systems and processes installed. You do get the information out of your head and into documentation in some way or another. This is where software can be a massive help. It's like pulling systems and processes out of a box and just implementing into your business. In the second model, a lot of the same principles apply. It's just for different reasons. For instance, like, you're getting things into systems and processes not to have a contingency plan in case you want to go on vacation or something happens to you. It's more of so that you can scale and continue adding more crews that can do more of what you already do, and leveraging the information, taking the information you have in your head and leveraging it by getting it into systems and processes, so more people can be trained to do what you do without having to have your 10, 15, 20 years of experience, right? Again, you got to remove yourself as a bottleneck, and you can no longer allow yourself to be the only person in the company in this second model that does an estimate, or that can run payroll, or that can deal with a customer callback or complaint. You've got to figure out how to get your business in processes to a point where you don't have to be the one doing it, your team can be doing it, and you're delegating it. In practical terms, what this means is like things like getting off your notes folder in your phone. Quit eyeballing a job and coming up with a number. You stop running your schedule in your head and getting into systems and processes, which, in many cases means software or equipment or just training across your team, getting that to a point where other people in the company can do what you used to do. There's only one problem though. Building those systems and processes is stinking hard. It is really, really hard work. It's harder to build a system and process so that you are no longer the bottleneck than it is to just continue doing it yourself and remaining the bottleneck, which is why so many people never do it. What I mean by, I like to think of systems and processes in a way like, okay, let's say you encounter a problem. Like maybe you start a job and materials didn't show up. Well, why did they not show up? Well, we didn't order them soon enough because one of these items was back ordered. Well, what's the source of the problem? Because the item was back ordered? I like to go back to the source and be like, well, why don't we just avoid this whole scenario ever again and go back to ordering the materials as soon as the job is sold and problem averted. So that's what I mean by, in practical plain, like layman's terms, what I mean by looking at processes and determining like what's the source of where things fall off the rails and installing something so that your guys can continue doing the work and avoiding creating a fire that you now have to firefight, right? It just takes a lot of work though to get this in place and getting people to exercise discipline to honor the system and process that you set up. I know that I don't have to convince you that building a systems and processes is hard. It is. It is always going to be the easiest thing to do to remain the kingpin of the organization or to remain the bottleneck and keep doing what you've always done, even if that way is broken or ineffective or inefficient. Some of you are okay with that. You just want to figure out how to do, you'll remain the bottleneck in your organization, and you're just not going to grow your team in production. You're just going to try to be profitable right there. But if you want your business to be able to run without you, where you don't necessarily have to be there to do the work and let the business continue to make money, you have to get to getting your business into systems and processes is not optional. And a big shortcut, this is true, a big shortcut is getting software. It's like pulling systems and processes that are proven already out of the box and implementing them into your business. The only challenge is you're changing habits. It takes real discipline to do this. The easy part is whipping out your credit card and signing up and paying the money. That's the easy part. The hard part is actually implementing it and actually using it and actually making it your operating system for your company and not caving to the temptation of falling back into your old ways. This is probably the biggest challenge I see as a founder of CEO of SynkedUP is like people signing up, thinking it's going to be the silver bullet to their issues, but then actually not benefiting from it because they continue to fall back in their old ways and not using it or not getting their team to clock in or you name it. I mean, fill in the blank. My goal is to educate and inspire and inform people that it's not just in the transaction. There are no silver bullets. It's in actually implementing it. And I want to encourage you to consider that when you sign up for any product or change any habit, that you're not going to get the impact unless you actually implement it. And there's no silver bullets. There are no shortcuts. So if you buy software and you don't implement it, it's not going to solve your problem. But I mean, we actually have a customer here that came here to the show to talk to us, and now he's a star customer of SynkedUP because he stinking does what we tell him he should do. And he also benefits and he gets the reward of it. And I'm like, I just wish everybody would do that. But we're all, we're human. It's hard to get out of our own way and get off of our own ruts. But anyway, the point of this video is if you lead well and you do the work of adapting your business to the software of your choice, you define your process and you explain to your team why you're doing it so they have autonomy and buy-in into the whole thing, and you actually follow the process and you don't accept it when a process is not followed. That's when you really truly unlock the power and potential of software or equipment. Like this principle applies to a lot of things in life. And you don't have the garbage in, garbage out problem. And you actually, rather, you have the beautiful experience of getting out of it what you put into it. It's funny how life works that way. And one day you'll look up and you'll realize that, hey, this business can continue to run. I don't have to be here. I can go on vacation, the business continues to run. And for a lot of you, that's your goal. And so I just wanted to kind of speak to that a little bit. Forgive my kind of rambling thoughts here. I am here at the trade show for getting it done, right? So I could have probably said everything I said here in 11 minutes in 7 minutes if I'd have wrote it out in a script or something beforehand. But thanks for bearing with me, making it this far in the video. And if you're ever interested in what we do, hit me up and DM me on Instagram or leave a comment here in this video. If you like this kind of content, hit that thumbs up button on the video, please. Let YouTube know that we exist and hit that subscribe button. Womp, womp, womp. And the glory is over. And Gene's standing there waiting for me to help him fold that stupid thing. All right, we'll see you next time. It's been a long time since I was here. Good show, Gene?
Yeah, real good. Let's go home.